My name is Rex45, and this is the Be Forever Cool Race the Motorcycle podcast. We got a lot of fun things to talk about tonight, like every time we do the podcast. We got MotoGP this weekend in Aragon, one of the home tracks for a lot of, I wouldn't say all the Spanish riders, but, some of the Spanish riders. But Marquez is one of the guys that's going to be fast. All the Marquez brothers. So excited to talk about that. Some changes in teams for next year. We're going to bring that up as well. And some people got hurt in the off season, which is not off season. This is 3 weeks. I didn't realize it was 3 weeks after Silverstone. It seems like forever. But we're going to chop it up with the crew and see what's going on before we bring them in. Like I always want to thank all the folks that are commenting. I really appreciate it. Continue to do that. We're getting better at responding as well. So, we can keep you guys engaged and stuff like that for sure. We got Lewis, who he's the antagonizer. I mean, he might be the nemesis. I think he's wearing like 1,000 hats. So I really appreciate you guys for doing that, and women as well, and also just subscribing and all that fun stuff. Really appreciate it. It's been pretty cool. We want to thank everyone, but let's talk about Woodcraft, because you get a free T-shirt if you spend $100 with Woodcraft. Mention Rexy and get that T-shirt. If you're into the track life like that, racing life, Woodcraft is a brand you want in your parts section. You want on your bike. Pretty much you can get everything that you pretty much need to go racing, from race plastics down to rear sets and clip-ons and stuff like that. So Woodcraft is a brand you want to get familiar with. If you're not familiar with, if you're familiar with and you need to re-up, just mention us and get a T-shirt, because, listen, man, track life, you need all the free stuff you can get, because we know what it costs. Speaking of that, if you need tires, Pirelli tires, go to Mark 10 Motorsport here in Florida. Mention Be Forever Cool. You get 10% off some Pirelli race slicks. It's not bad, and he ships as well. So, anything to save you between the gas, the food, the travel, the time off that you got to take, or time off without pay you got to take. It's nice to get some discounts. And we got some more stuff that we're going to be talking about probably next month, actually, because the month's almost over. So we got some more affiliates coming on board. Can't wait to announce them and talk about them and give you some opportunity to save some money there as well. Very excited about that. So with that, let's get this thing rolling. Harry, old man, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I've been waiting for this week, man, and it's MotoGP weekend, so I'm looking forward to the excitement. And it's been cool watching Moto America and watching the other subordinate classes of motorcycle racing, but this is the granddaddy of them all with MotoGP. It's time to race.
Okay. Listen, there's some people out there that's going to sit here and say BSB is the granddaddy or World Superbike. And, I mean, there's some people might even say Moto America, man. So, I don't know. It might be personal preference, but, as far as the dollars, they're definitely they're winning there.
Absolutely.
No doubt. All right, man, we're going to keep it moving. Lewis, man, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm an antagonist?
Hey, well, I mean, it depends on the day, Lewis. You got a lot of things to throw at you. I mean, I'm only regurgitating what the people are saying. You are on probation. So.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? You're going after tire manufacturers, what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. You talk about bikes, you talk about race series, you know what I'm saying? Some people might, appreciate it for sure, because it needs to be talked about. But some other people, it's like nobody wants to know about the numbers, right?
Yeah, the numbers are always the last thing people want to talk about. But at the end of the day, man, this is sports, and all sports are a form of entertainment, and all forms of entertainment have to be accountable to money. Mm-hmm, and sure. So numbers eventually get involved, whether they like it or not. How many wins you have determines if you have a ride next year. Those are numbers. How many wins you have determines how much you make. Those are numbers. So that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for the facts, just the facts.
Yeah, man. I think I know a song called that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about Italy and your trip as well. Can't wait to hear more about that. You got to hang out with some cool people. You know, I mean, you're already rock star status now. You know what I'm saying? They might knight you.
I doubt it, but no, it was a great trip. I can't wait to talk about it. We had a great time, and I'll name drop later on.
All right, no doubt. You know, so we like that. Tyson, man, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, Rexy? I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh man, listen, like just keeping it moving. The tour bus is outside. As soon as I'm done with the show, I'm just gonna go pack up and get on it. Go to a new state tomorrow.
Well, it'll be a fun drive. How far are you going?
It's a flight. I'll be in Boston tomorrow night.
I got you. Yeah.
So I can't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to complain, you know what I mean?
At least it's nice this time of year, At least you don't need to pack a winter coat.
It is nice, and I'm going for a little bit of work. I'm going for a wedding as well. There's also the West Indian Carnival up there, so I might partake in a little bit of that. So we'll see what happens when I land in Florida on Sunday. It might be like the Hangover 5, or maybe like Hangover 1. We'll see.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before. Definitely, I was at my sister-in-law's wedding. It was 3 a.m. and we left, and then our flight was at 9 a.m. and we were definitely drunk walking onto that plane.
Oh God! Before I get to the show, one of the. I mean, it's been a fun time. But Jamaica one year, a buddy and I, we got off the plane, went to Margaritaville in Montego Bay. We're like, my nephew worked at the airport at the time, so we were just waiting for him to get off work. We sat at the bar, I ordered a couple of drinks. I woke up at the venue where we needed to get our passes for the club. I just got a feeling of what happened. So, fun times. Speaking of fun times, Louis, you were close to Spain. MotoGP is in Aragon. They know how to have fun over there, so it's going to be a good time. I don't even know where to start, but let's talk about, I guess, Fermin Aldeguer, injured, but officially announced that he's with VR46. He's wearing a red shirt in the photo on MotoGP. So I don't know if it's just he sounds like he's on a factory team. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Fermin going to Ducati, to VR46, and what does it say for Grassini, right? I know I'm jumping right into it, but what does it say for Grassini? Because he was signed. If he's wearing a red shirt, Ducati could have told him stay with Grassini or go to VR46. Is this dude got too much energy for Grassini? We'll start with Harry. What are your thoughts, man, on Fermin getting signed?
Yeah, I thought he's a fast guy like last year. I don't know. I think he was a rookie of the year last year.
More so because Agura got injured in Silverstone, and the second half of the season was tricky.
Yeah, but he won a couple of. I think he won the sprint race and he won the main event on Sunday too. So he was faster than Alex Marquez last year on several occasions, and I thought Grassini probably would have locked him in and tried to keep him. But due to the fact that he came in this year with some a motocross injury, and I think he messed up his tibia, fibula, one of the two, and he just haven't, progressed this year. And I was looking forward for him to be somewhat fast this year, but due to the injury, so it's good to see him going with VR46. They're known to hone in their talent, and I know Valley probably gonna put a lot of effort into him and probably have him at the ranch working on stuff. So it's a good move for him, and it's always good to get mentored by the great one. So right. I look forward to what he's going to do in 2027.
So is this a come up for Fermin?
Absolutely, I think it is. Because for the mentorship, who's mentoring him in Grassini? Nobody. Right. And I think he needs to be. The more talent that he's around, you have no choice but to gravitate to the winning mentality. So I look forward to what he's going to do next year.
Right. Okay. Tyson, what are your thoughts, man, on that sign-in? Do you think this paved the way for him replacing Marquez in a couple of years?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good move for Fermin. I think he's going to have that factory bike with VR46 next year, correct?
Because we don't know who the second rider is yet, so I got to assume he's first.
Have they not officially signed Digia? Or is he sent somewhere else?
Digia's factory KTM next year.
Factory KTM. Okay, so we don't know who his other partner is, but I mean, it'll be some good young blood back in VR46 after having Morbidelli. I mean, I know we've had a pretty decent season with Digintonio, but I think it'll be good for VR46 to have Fermin, especially how hot he is. I don't really see Ducati giving any of their factory bikes to Gresini. I feel like that like delineation of Gresini being like the third team, VR46 definitely being the second team, and then Ducati being like the first team. I think we're kind of seeing that like solidify itself.
Do you think so? Because let's keep in mind this year they do have Alex Marquez is on the 26 for Gresini this year.
I think that's just for Alex Marquez. I think if it was anybody else, that bike would not be there.
Okay.
So I think they're trying to keep Alex. Obviously, Alex is going to be leaving next year because he's going to factory KTM as well.
Correct.
So I can see them if they go with 3 factory bikes for the year, one of them going to Fermin at VR46, or if there's 2 extra factory bikes both going to VR46. But I definitely think it's a good move for Fermin. It's unfortunate for Gresini. They're going to start out with 2 fresh new riders next year. Mm-hmm. And Fermin was quite the talent to keep getting them some podiums and wins, just like Alex and Mark have been doing for the last couple of years for them. So I think it'll be a tough year for Gresini next year.
Okay.
Rex, I want to interject one thing, just to caveat on what Tyson said. I think next year everybody's going to be on a factory bike. It's going to the 850 cc's. It's all going to be about data.
No, well, yeah, but they're not going to be the same. Some people get the parts for other people, as Lewis can attest to. But Lewis, man, what are your thoughts on that? What does it say for where Buliga is going to go? Not being announced yet. This guy's leading Superbike. Furman is kind of injured and struggling this year and stuff like that. Should they have signed Buliga first? We don't even know if Buliga is going to VR46 or if he's going to Trackhouse. What are your thoughts on what's with Furman and what possibly could happen?
No, well, Trackhouse is all locked up. Trackhouse is an AMS Danini and Raul Fernandez, so there's no seat at Trackhouse unless he wants to just watch from the paddock.
You're absolutely right. I forgot about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, so realistically, what's going to happen is Buliga will get the second seat. We know that Digi is going to KTM. Mm-hmm. Frankie Morbidelli is 99% set to go to World Superbike and almost swap seats with Buliga. So they'll swap Ducati seats. Buliga will end up on the VR46 team with Aldeguer. Aldeguer is guaranteed a factory bike. So even though next year everybody has new bikes, and not everybody's going to have the best parts on the new bikes. Some people are going to have the nicer tidbits earlier than other people. So I think, Ducati, for some reason, really has a lot of faith in Fermin Aldeguer. They signed him, in the middle of the season for no apparent reason. He wasn't even leading the Moto2 championship. He was doing very well in the Moto2 championship. And then after they signed him, he kind of just coasted the rest of the year because he's like, hey, I'm going to MotoGP. I'm not going to kill myself in Moto2. But when he came to MotoGP,
they forced Ducati to say they signed him too.
Yeah.
Right? Phillip Island.
Yeah, so they forced their way into GP with a guy that everybody was like, well, why are they getting this guy that's, in the position he's in? But he quickly showed how good a rider he is. Sometimes just because you're not doing great in one series doesn't mean you're not a great rider. You might just be on a subpar team or have some other issues. So him going to VR46, like they said, it definitely does solidify VR46 as the satellite factory team. And Gresini, I really do think Gresini will get at least one factory bike because having Johan Mir, I can't see Johan Mir not getting some sort of level of factory support. Danny Hidalgo is going to be a rookie. So, I don't think he's going to be getting the latest and greatest of anything. But, Ducati has a really solid lineup by what I see right now. Factory Ducati bikes, Marquez and Acosta. Yeah. VR46, realistically, you're going to have Fermin Aldeguer and Nicola Buliga. And then Gresini, you're going to have Johan Mir, previous championship, and Danny Hidalgo, who the dude can ride, man. he is vertically challenged. I will say that, man. I didn't realize how small he was until this weekend, but I was like, is somebody going to help him get on that bike? Because I don't think he can reach, man.
Yeah.
But then once he's on the bike, man, he is fast. He is crazy fast. So I think Ducati is setting themselves up really, really well for 2027. Even with the new bike and everything else, I think they have a mix of like veterans, a mix of young talent, and a mix of like up and coming talent. So they're definitely, I think they made the right moves by letting some of the people go, even though some people are like, letting Alex Marquez slip through your fingers, that's a bad move. Letting this person slip through your fingers, not really, man. I think they made the right moves that they need to do for themselves.
They let their two-time champion go. They let Bezzecchi go. They let Luca go.
You know how they are, man. They'll find somebody else to fill the seat.
They got. So let's talk about Aprilia. You heard Lewis say they got the best lineup for next year. What are your thoughts, Harry, on that? I mean, you look at Aprilia's lineup: Bez, Bagnaia, Fernandez, and Bastianini. Bastianini's a fast guy. Nobody in front of him. It's gonna be, him and Martin are similar that way. Nobody in front of them. Them boys are fast.
Absolutely. The thing about with Bastianini that's been one of the things that's been carrying on from year to year is that he starts slow, but maybe it's a tire preservation type thing, but he comes along later on in the race, and that's just been like one of his issues that he's been having as of late. Just like a couple of weeks ago, like when he was racing with, on the RC, it was just like he managed his tires long enough, and then all of a sudden he started to become stronger at the end of the race. But I know it's a tire preservation type thing, but he just needs to work on that. And I like the kid, like when he had the opportunity to be on the factory Ducati after leaving Gresini, he was strong, but he got injured, so somebody else had to take his spot. So Aprilia has probably one of the toughest lineups going into 2027, especially with with their technology and their R&D so far from last year to this year. And I just look forward to seeing what they're going to do next year because as far as the testing's been going, the 850cc has been looking pretty productive.
Okay, well, I agree. Tyson, man, what are your thoughts, man, on Aprilia, where they're at, signing Bastianini? They're going to be solid for next year, you think?
I think they should definitely do well if they can get their two new signees to come back to their potential peaks. I mean, we've seen Bagnaia. He's been struggling quite a bit for the last year or two with the Ducati. If he can come back to Aprilia and go back to his, 22, 23, 24 ways, like I think they have a really solid lineup. That top row on the Aprilias, that team, they are competing basically with Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. If both of those both those guys are on their peaks, like I think they could be comparable and they can take the fight to those guys. But I really like them re-signing Raul Fernandez. I think he's really shown these last couple of years that he deserves to be in MotoGP. I mean, he's a race winner. He's a multi-race winner now. And I'm favoring him as a dark horse this year for the championship. I mean, I still think it's relatively unlikely that he'll do it, but I could see it happening with all the races that we have left. But and then I have a similar complaint sort of with Enea. Like I like Enea. I think he's a really good rider. Agree with everything Hario said that, he struggles a little bit in that first half of the race and then really comes on at the end of the race where he seems to have some more tire life. But I'd like to see some more consistency and more of his like peak riding that we all know he can do. Like we've seen it at moments when he was on that Ducati and especially on that Gresini as well. Like he's got it in him. We just need to see him do it. And I think he may have that potential with the Aprilia next year.
Right. Lewis, man, if Ducati's the Celtics or the Patriots, what's Aprilia? I mean, are they the early Lakers? Are they the Colts? Are they the Giants? I mean, because they seem to might be the team to be able to steal a couple.
I mean, they're definitely not the Cowboys. They actually have a chance of winning.
30 is a little different.
I think Aprilia, is another company that has a great lineup for next year. You think about their factory guys is going to be Marco Bezzecchi and Bagnaia. Aprilia is all in on Bezzecchi. Like, they signed him to a very long-term contract very early in this season. Like, they really put all their weight behind him because they have a trust in his abilities, and the dude is fast. Bagnaia is going to come in after a few difficult years with Ducati, but I don't think the guy hasn't forgotten how to ride. He's just having issues with gelling with the team, gelling with the bike. You know, on some weekends when he can get all the pieces together, you see he still knows how to ride. He can still ride his ass off, but you know, he's just having problems making those weekends as often as they used to be. Whereas they used to be every week he could go in and be competitive. Now it's every third race, every fourth race, every this event, that event. So I think his move to Aprilia is going to be good for him and for Aprilia, because they get to unload Martin, the 800-pound anchor that any team that gets him has to deal with his BS.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, Raul Fernandez is showing how good he is on the satellite side. You know, him and Agura are doing an incredible job this year.
Right.
You know, it's sad that Agura's leaving, but at the same time, I can understand why Agura's leaving. And I'm glad that Trackhouse moved in and actually did lock Raul Fernandez up, because I really do think somebody else is going to pick Raul Fernandez up. They weren't going to let him go. Like, he's shown that he could win races, and keeping him on this team is perfect. And then bringing Enea Bastianini in, to be honest with you, the only thing that Bastianini has had an issue with is injury.
I was going to say that, yeah.
He's had some really bad injuries, man.
Yeah.
When he was through Ducati, he started out really strong. He got hurt. Mm-hmm. And then it took him a long time to recover. And by the time he recovered and was able to get kind of back up to speed, my man, your ride's gone. We gave it to somebody else. And it's like, he never really had an opportunity with Ducati factory to show anything, because he got hurt so early in the contract and he didn't get an opportunity to do what he could have done. And he had multiple repeated injuries. And now, I mean, he's healed up because he's had, all this time on the KTM at the back of the grid where you can just ride around and heal, because it's not like you're really competing. Yeah. And now, again, this is another guy that has not forgotten how to ride, has not forgotten how to be fast. He just need a package and a team that's going to believe in him and it's going to give him the opportunity. And I think Trackhouse is that team. They've shown that they will work with young guys and work with guys, the misfit toys that nobody thinks are going to do much. Mm-hmm. And then they put them on the bikes and they give them the help they need. And all of a sudden, they're winning more races than the factory guys.
Right. I agree. Let's move over to KTM before we kind of talk about World Superbike and we talk about your trip to Mazzano, Lewis. They just came out that Luca is on Tech 3. So we don't know who the second rider is, but we got Luca, we got Digia, and we got Alex Marquez. So all pretty much, Luca is one team removed, but all former Ducati riders. Next year for KTM, I mean, is this the year that these guys got to kind of really, show that they can be, top two team, in the series? We'll start with Hario.
Yeah, for sure. Because they really haven't progressed, since they've been in MotoGP, and they have the talent now, like especially with Digi and the year he's been having so far with VR46, and Alex Marquez coming into this year, being second last year, and it seems like they're going in the right direction by getting the talent and knowledge from past members on different motorcycles, from to be more specific, Ducati, and I think they want to bring some of that knowledge to the KTM home to try to do something magically, but they haven't been able to. And I think if they don't, CF Moto might be knocking on the door to take KTM's spot.
Putting in early options there. Tyson, what are your thoughts, man, on KTM and what they may need to do something for next season?
I mean, I certainly think it's a fine lineup. Like, I like Digia and I like Alex Marquez. They're both phenomenal riders. They're going to bring a bunch of experience to that top team. My concern is really the bike and KTM as a company. This would be a great opportunity for them to invest some money into that bike and development. Mm-hmm. And everyone's going to have a fresh slate. You could come out and you could be the top team, but I really just don't believe they are going to invest the amount of money and resources that's required to do that. And so I feel like they're just going to be in this perpetual sort of spiraling circle of their current predicament, but just with a new regulation. And I feel like it's where we go to send riders to die, frankly. Like, it's like bike purgatory. Like, you don't progress anywhere. You don't really fall back. You just kind of stay there until you find a new ride or go to World Superbike.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate. Louis, man, let's talk about Mazzano and you know what it's about, what happened, and what how come we didn't get invites?
Right. I got my passport, Louis.
Here in the mail is the best I can say. No, this is this was actually a invite only event, and we had our first Dainese had their first event last year, and at last year's event it was a very small event. We only had a small number of riders, and it was built as an opportunity to get riders to the track to test items that we are currently developing or that are about to be released, and see if we need to make any last minute modifications to what we think are the last iterations of the product. So we did this last year in a lead up to some of the new products that we're going to be introducing over the next 6 months. And this year we scheduled another Apex. However, this Apex was a lot bigger. We had about 27 riders from different classes, MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, British Superbike, World Superbike, a bunch of different classes, current, retired, riders from a bunch of different categories. And what we did is, the first quarter of the day, we had them go out there testing new products that we're developing. So 4 or 5 different iterations of a specific item to see which of the 4 or 5 iterations they liked the best, or what features they liked on this one, but they didn't like on this one, but they liked on this one, they didn't like on this one. So the first 2 hours, 3 hours of the day was a lot of data collection. So we had staff dedicated to each rider and to each product. So, you could have 10 people in the box, and he'll talk about the helmet to 3 people. Then he'll talk about the gloves to 3 people. Then he'll talk about the suit to 3 people. Then he'll talk about the boot to 3 people. Then he'll talk to the base layer to 3 people. Then he'll talk about the back protector to 3 people. So it was a great way to get a lot of information, because you can get a lot of data from CAD and from simulations in a computer. But at the end of the day, until you put it on a human being and they go out and actually use it, the computer can never give you that data. They can never give you that feedback. It can tell you how much drag a helmet has or how little drag a helmet has. But at the end of the day, when riders put this on and they put it to the max and they put it to the test, that's where we get the real true data that kind of allows us to say, all right, this product is ready for market, or we need to go back and make some additional changes. Because even though the computer says everything's great, the riders all agree that there's an issue here, or there's an issue there. And that's really what this Apex was about. Is the first half was a lot of testing, and then the second half was a lot of content collection for a lot of the new products that are coming out. So interviews with a lot of the riders of what they think about our suits, our boots, our gloves, our helmets, and so on and so forth. And it's very difficult to get a lot of these people together. So just the fact that we were able to get so many current active MotoGP, World Superbike, Moto2, Moto3 riders all in one place at the same time was a miracle in itself, man. It's like herding cats with blind dogs. Right. It's really hard. But we got a ton of feedback.
Just we start to name drop, man. Who's some of these riders, man? Come on.
Well, we had, like I said, Hidalgo was there. That's how I realized how short he was. Like, I was like, wow. I at first when I saw him, in all honesty, I thought he was like a Moto3 kid, because there were a couple of Moto3 kids there that were, tiny little, like 12, 13-year-olds.
All right.
Super fast. Like, these kids are so fast, man. It's disgusting that someone that young is that fast already. Then we had Viete was there, Nicola Bulaga was there, Bezecchi was there, Actually, the CEO of Aprilia was there. Massimo Rioli was there.
Okay.
And I'll tell you
wow.
what, he could ride, man.
Yeah.
He was
He's a
within
former 500 guy, right?
he was within 10 seconds or 12 seconds of the fastest lap of the day
Wow.
on an Aprilia RSV4 XGP, which is like their GP bike that a consumer can buy.
Yeah,
Oddly enough, the CEO has one. Shocking. And I'm looking at the times. I'm like, yo, this dude is flying. Like he's within like 12 seconds of like the fastest lap of the race, and on a consumer bike for a guy that's a retired, 500 racer. That's, again, fast never forgets how to go fast. Like, as long as you stay in shape. So we had that. Then we had Morbidelli was there. I had a really nice chat with him, to be honest with you. I know that we kind of like always, kind of get on him about his antics and things like that. But the guy really is dedicated to racing, man. He pretty much said he spent the entire holiday just working out, training, trying to get in as best shape as possible for the second half of the season and everything like that. And so, sometimes we forget that there's people in the helmet, so we critique them. But when you meet them in person, it's like, you know what? This guy really is trying, man. It's not like he's out there intentionally trying to do anything to harm anybody. It's just sometimes you're just in situations you don't even realize what's going on,
Lewis, blink 3 times if you were threatened.
I know, right?
I was not threatened. I actually did. I did tell him, I'm like, hey, I've lost a lot of money on you. Like, I bet on you a lot of times and you've let me down.
Oh man, that's pretty dope, man. And you did you get on track, man? What was that like?
We're not gonna talk about that, man. That was
oh wow,
that was embarrassing.
You got to get right on Mazzano, man.
It's about the opportunity.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man.
You're gonna go back.
12 and 13-year-olds beating you up while you're on a leader bike is not something you want to discuss.
Hey, fair enough. I mean, look, man, it happens. I mean, if you're club racing here in the U.S., somebody's doing it to you, and they're on a little 250. And then
around 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Monday, Valentino Rossi showed up. And I'll tell you what, man, it's like Michael Jordan showing up somewhere, man. It's like the whole place stopped. Even though like all the racers know him, like legitimate, it's like Michael Jordan shows up somewhere and like everybody that's playing basketball just stops their pickup games and like, oh, wait a second, we got to stop, man. Michael Jordan just showed up. And it's he showed up in a customed out BMW M6 or M8 like sports car, like race car or something. And I was like, man, this guy must never get a speeding ticket because it was blue. It had flow yellow colors on it and had a giant 46 on the doors. And it's like the police see that in Italy and they're like, just let him go.
Dude, I've driven in Italy. I don't know if the police pull you over for speeding. They might pull you over if you're going too slow.
Dude, it's the kilometers things. It makes you think you're going faster than you are.
They got speed cameras now. My dad went a couple years ago, and all of a sudden we like, why are we getting mail from Italy? And he opened it up and he's like, a speeding ticket. I was like, nice one.
Yeah,
but yeah, when he showed up, it was a game changer for the day. Like, everything stopped for a good 40 minutes. Everybody wants to shake his hand, get a picture. And even though we're like, we're trying not to disrupt his day, like how often are you going to get an opportunity to be in a room with only 100 and some odd other people and Valentino Rossi? Like,
yeah,
it's, it's so wild, man. And then I didn't even realize how crazy it was until I was getting ready to leave at the end of the day. And as I was going out the gate, and this was not like anything that was publicized or anything, as I'm heading out the gate, there's probably like 200 people.
Oh, wow.
Just randomly at the gate with helmets and bags and things like that, hoping that Rossi will stop and like sign something for them.
That's pretty wild.
Damn, that is
it is.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, this isn't advertised anywhere. Like, somebody was like, "Hey, I saw the Valentino Rossi car going to Misano," and then people just gathered at the gate, and who knows how long they've been waiting there. And it was hot, man. It was like 90-something degrees in Italy, and these people are just standing there waiting for an opportunity to even like catch a glimpse of him, man. It's wild, man. It's like I don't know. I've never experienced something like that before.
So there's no advertising, and I was like, Valentino clearly has his own advertising whenever he drives around Philly.
Like it was very surreal, but the best thing that came out of it is, we got a lot of content, and it's the products, man. The products that we're going to be introducing over the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, year. Some of them are groundbreaking, man. Some of them are game changers. A couple of them, whatever avenue they're for, whether for the street or for the track, absolute game changers that we're coming out with over the next 6 to 10 months.
Okay, can't wait to see, man. Cannot wait to see it all. Nice, man. That's what's up.
I'll be able to talk more about the helmet in like 3 weeks.
All right, after
the Misano round.
Okay.
But if you go online, you'll see that there's a lot of pictures that were posted during the event. And you might notice like there's pistas that have different designs and shapes to them. I'll be able to talk about that in a couple of weeks.
All right, no doubt. I'm going to hold you to that. Put it on the calendar right now. Speaking of calendar, guys, MotoGP Current is going to be at Aragon. It looked like the Ducati struggled a lot at Silverstone. What you guys hoping to see? Not just from Ducati, but overall, we just go walk around the horn as always, and what are your riders you're hoping to see do something? It's the second half of the season, so everything kind of matters now. The Aprilias, they came out the gate swinging outside of Agura crashing out in the main race. They would have been 4 for 4. And be like Dave Chappelle and plead the fifth. What are your thoughts, Hario?
I think with the time that's been given to Bezzecchi from his collarbone injury, I think he's going to try to put his step back on trying to win the championship this upcoming weekend, because he's kind of let with his injury and missing that race due to him hitting that marshal that time. I think it's time for him to recoup some points, and I think he's going to try to come out the gate and try to win. I don't know what he hasn't done too good in the sprint race, qualifies good, straight to Q2, but hopefully this weekend he's focused, and I look for a Bezzecchi weekend.
I do as well. This last pass round, I think it was one of his better sprint races. So I will say he's definitely aiming and heading in the right direction. Tyson, what are you hoping to see in Aragon? Yamaha up front?
Sure. I'll be dreaming about that tonight. But I'm really hoping to see Mark and Raul, Fabio, these guys a little bit lower down on the table do well this race. But I'm expecting Bezzecchi and Martin to be quite strong for this. I agree with Hario. I think Bezzecchi is going to come out strong out of the gates here. He did pretty well in Silverstone, and I think he's going to try to continue that on. And I think he's fully capable of it. But I would really like to see Mark pull out another win here. He does very well at Aragon, so I think it's possible.
Right. And when you say Mark, I mean, is it more Ducatis you want to see do well, or is it just, specifically Mark? Just my boy, Marc Marquez, I'm a stan. All right. Listen, man, my daughter's a Marc Marquez fan. I don't know how it happened, because betrayed the family lineage, huh? But she's Marc Marquez all day, and she let me know every time. Lewis, man, you saw some of the riders there. You kind of you talked to Frankie and stuff like that. What do you think Ducati is gonna bounce back from Silverstone?
Yeah, I think they're going to bounce back, because if you think about it, they didn't do too bad the previous 2 races. It's just something about Silverstone just wasn't working with them for whatever reason. They were having issues with picking the right tires and, the typical things that happen in the weekend, picking the right tires, picking the wrong compound, not getting the grip, weather variations, things like that. So I don't think Silverstone is, the final nail in the coffin of Ducati. I think Ducati is going to get it together. The home track, the hometown half second is a real deal. We're at Aragon, so I expect the Spaniards to do well. I expect Mark to do really well. I mean, they have a corner named here after him for a reason. The dude knows how to go really fast there. Realistically, I think it's really going to come down to 3 riders more than anything else. I think it's going to come down to Marquez, Martin, and Fernandez.
Okay.
I think those 3 guys, the 3 Spaniards, are going to be the ones to watch. I think Pedro Costa might throw his hat in there in a couple of places because this is a top speed track. There's a long back straightaway, and if he can set himself up well with the KTM, he might finally get that first win. It's possible. Anything's possible in a given day. Agura's out because of an injury, so he was already announced. So that means that as long as Mark stays on the bike, there's a good opportunity that Mark can move from the 4th to 2nd place in the championship standings through the weekend. He's only 3 points behind Agura. He's only 9 points behind Bezecchi. He's 40 points behind Martin. So he's not out of the race for the championship at all. And I think he's going to come back after the spring, the summer break. And I think he's going to start putting the wick up a little bit more. And Aragon's a good track for him to start laying down a claim that he's really in this game to win for the championship this year.
Right. You mentioned Agura getting hurt, guys. I mean, we talked before the second half started. Who the top 8 riders needed to finish strong the season to make it. I mean, what does it say for Agura and his? I mean, he's second year guy. Up front. I mean, Bez was one of these guys that was able to come into MotoGP and kind of run up front for a little bit before falling back in the championship and stuff like that. What does it say for Agura, getting hurt again? I mean, we saw it last year at Silverstone. He got hurt and was running up front and stuff like that. I mean, is his championship over by this injury? Possibly. I mean, especially if these other guys don't make mistakes. Start with Hario.
Yeah, it's sad to say. I think it might be over because, the time for him to recover. We don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to be the next race that he's going to be able to come back. But this race right here is going to be pretty important. And if he's not there to defend his position as far as the championship, it's going to be hard for him to climb back to the top again because I think this weekend right here is fixing to tell a difference between who really wants to win and who's not going to win.
Right. Hario, man, we've seen Petrucci get hurt on training. You know what I'm saying? We've seen, Furman's gotten hurt in training, not in the race. And it's tricky because these guys got to go all out. What are your thoughts on just training outside of when they're on the race, but outside of when they're on the race, in the race, sorry?
I think it needs to be more specific to not getting on a motocross bike. I think that's what I feel like because a lot of those injuries come from there, and I think they just need to focus more on cardio and some kind of simulation training because due to the fact they're coming from the break and this close to coming back, they had Silverstone and then another 2-week break off, then a race. I think it was just need to be focused on simulation and some kind of weight training, but nothing to do with a motocross bike because from what I'm trying to see now, the majority of these guys getting injured is trying to work on their slide techniques, doing, flat track or doing insane jumps like they're getting ready for an MX or something. So I think they need to really just focus on what their craft is versus doing something extreme like they've been doing so far.
Right. Tyson, man, what are your thoughts on Agura getting hurt in championship and like Hario said, the training? I don't know if you can change it. It does suck when you get hurt, period. But it does suck when you get hurt in training versus in the competition itself.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Hario that I don't know why any of these guys are doing motocross though for training. Isn't that how Jorge's first season at Aprilia, didn't he hurt himself on motocross track right before testing? Mm-hmm. And he showed up a couple days late because of it or missed it completely. Yeah. At this point, I don't know why anyone allows them to do motocross at all. Just those heights, you make one mistake and, you're going to hit the ground because there's 10 feet of air, 20 feet of air, 30 feet of air, that's just never going to be good. I don't know why they don't just have standard sort of like if they want to work on sliding on the dirt, I don't know why they haven't just built like a standard sort of road course on the dirt though, without jumps. Like I feel like that would be a little bit easier and less on their bodies if it's just sort of standard road course, but dirt instead of tarmac.
No jumps, yeah, and even I was gonna say gravel, but gravel might hurt a little bit as well. So
yeah, I mean at that point you'd have to rock a full leather suit, and
I mean a lot of these guys do ride dirt in full leather suits.
Yeah, especially like when they're doing. I know I've seen it when they do flat track, but I feel bad for Agura, and I definitely think this is probably the end of his championship. When it comes for him trying to win the championship, I'm sure he can still do quite a bit to maintain his place in his championship. Right. I don't know if he's got some sort of contract clauses in there where, you know, depending on where he finishes, he gets so much money. Like that could be important to him as well. May never be this close to the championship or like that high, so maybe worthwhile to him for pride reasons to try to finish as high as he can, but to get that top step, I don't think he's going to have the ability now with being out, especially his competition. They're so good and generally pretty consistent. Like obviously this is bike racing. Someone could crash tomorrow in practice and qualifying in a race and be done for the rest of the season. So there's always that possibility with every rider, but these guys are generally pretty consistent, and I think they'll finish out pretty strong.
All right. Yeah. No. I think it'll be interesting because when you're that close in the championship points and now you have to overcome an injury, it's one more thing for you to think about versus just everything you normally would think about. And you know, it is a fine. You know, the great Kobe Bryant and you know Michael Jordan and all these guys. You know, and women. You know, to get in that Zen moment or that perfect state. You know, you spend your whole life to chase minutes at a time of that in the right moments. Lewis, what are your thoughts on?
Hold on 1 second. Rex, I just got a text message here. They say the reason why they work on jumps is just in case Mir fall, crash in front of them so they can jump over him.
What's wrong, yo?
That was low, Harry-o. As low as Mir is on the ground.
I don't know who you got contacts with, but you know, it might be.
It was one of Lewis' contacts.
Lewis was texting you while I was talking.
I'm trying to like spread out some of the hate so other people take some heat, so I'm not the only one who's taking heat.
Let it flow through you.
You dropped the bomb and walked away. I see what's happening on Agura, man, and you know where he could possibly end up. You know, we're not fortune tellers, but it sucks getting hurt. Especially when if you're in last place, it sucks. But when you're leading the championship, I believe it hurts a little bit more.
Well, the biggest problem that Agura has is the injury that's being reported is he fractured his hand somewhere near his thumb. And that's not somewhere you can just put a screw or a plate and kind of keep riding. And if you think about the way that you kind of like hold onto a handlebar, like this part of your hand here is very important. And you're putting weight on that when you're braking on really hard braking terms. I mean, obviously you're trying to hold yourself with your legs, but in a GP bike, you're definitely using your arms to stabilize yourself a little bit. And so if that part of your, hand right here where your thumb is broken, that's not really good. I mean, all these guys train either in motocross or in flat track. I would recommend flat track more than motocross because as soon as you start to add jumps and crazy things like that, you're just, you're kind of giving yourself the opportunity to get it a lot easier when you're adding jumps. Now when you're landing, you're putting your elbows, your knees, your hips, your back, your feet, everything's at risk. Whereas if you're flat tracking, there's some risk to high siding and low siding, but it's not like actually catching elevation and then coming down and having a different type of injury.
The good old days of, these skateboarders and BMX guys, they had no cushions to land on. I mean, do we need cushions at the practice track for these guys?
No, I mean, there's no cushion, man. It's like anything else. If you're going to go ride, you're going to ride. You're going to take the risk of getting hurt. But this, if that's their training regimen, that's what they're doing to try to stay sharp, then that's what they have to do. And unfortunately, this can happen. But I'm going to tell you right now, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds happen 2 weeks apart from each other from now until November 8th.
Mm-hmm.
every 2 weeks from now till November 8th, there's a MotoGP race. If you hurt yourself badly enough, you can lose 25, 50, 75, 100. You can lose 100 points in 3 races.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So right now, Guru is sitting in 3rd place. He might not get out of this weekend. He might get out of this weekend and be in 6th place. He could have 4 people possibly jump over him and drop him to 6th or 7th.
Wow.
Because it's that tight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely talked about that. And that's unfortunate.
So this is not this for any rider. This is not a time to be getting hurt, man. The next 8 rounds, there's no recovery time. If you get hurt, it might be keep it to a paper cut or like a splinter or something easy, because any type of other injury, and that's it. Championship's over for you, man. There's 8 rounds that are going to happen so close to one another that if you break something, you either better figure out how to ride with it broken or just call it a year, because the schedule that MotoGP has put out this year, the 20 rounds this year, it's insane, man. Like, you're giving nobody some downtime. And if you think about if these were NBA players, they'd have like, 100 and whatever game season, only play like 32 games because of load balancing. There's no load balancing here, man. You got to ride your ass off every 2 weeks from now until the end of the year. LeBron wouldn't make this. He'd make like 1 round and that's it, man. Flopping.
Oh, listen, man. We can talk about the gladiators of motorcycle.
Oh man,
other sports, especially when you get jacked up, and how they come back and run. All right. What else we got there? It makes no sense to talk about Honda and Yamaha and KTM. I mean, Costa might be the only person that might come out of that. Let's talk about this. What is it? Moto Classic
World not happening. Moto Classic not happening. Scam.
You guys heard about that, Harry Tyson?
no.
I heard it's a scam.
It's the 2026 version of a Scully helmet.
Oh wow.
I've not heard of this.
Well, this
I
is
haven't
weird,
heard.
right? I mean, I think the weird part is that Colin Edwards is out here on the mic talking and pushing this. So what does that say for Colin Edwards if this is a scam?
That says
Likes
that they
money.
paid him a lot of money.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
If I pay any celebrity enough money, they'll endorse whatever I want, as long as they're not, objecting to it for religious reasons. Like, if I paid enough money to the right celebrity, I'm like, hey, I'm going to give you $40,000 if you do this 30-second commercial about this race that's happening in Mid-Ohio. I'm not working right now. I'm a retired racer. You can give me $40,000 for 30 seconds? Bring it on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and why not say it's 200,000? I mean, I don't know if they're trying to compete with Loudon, for being half, 450,000, not this year but the year before. I don't know what it was this year, Tyson. You might know better than I did.
I don't remember.
But why not throw up? I mean, Daytona is what, 60 something thousand or whatever for the winner, or whatever the case may be, under 150,000 overall, I think, with all the different tiers of where you finish. Why not do something like that? Do you think it was just too much money they were trying to raise for this thing, or like from the jump? I mean, I guess, are they taking rider entry fees and not giving them back? Where's the scam? All of the above?
Is it?
What's the deal? It's just a race at Mid-Ohio and they have a purse for it.
No, so it was supposed to be a race at Mid-Ohio that had a no rules format. So you could bring a bike with a jet engine. You could bring an ex MotoGP bike. You could bring a
2-person bike.
A 2-person bike, a sidecar, a Can-Am Spider, whatever you could bring to the track, you bring it.
Yeah.
And if you win, you win $1 million.
All right, that sounds like a scam.
Yeah, that's how.
You know, you know
Sound
what
like
the
an
scam
April
starts
Fool-
as soon
April
as you
Fool-
say
April
$1 million.
I honestly was thinking
Yeah.
like this is kind of ridiculous, but like, all right, sure, some assholes probably thought this up, and then you said $1 million, and I was like, all right, this is definitely a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one is giving $1 million for that.
yeah, nobody.
$1 million for first place.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what it wasn't no particular specification.
No
Just-
rules format.
When was it supposed to be?
You can actually go out there with a bat and hit somebody in the head next to you and knock them over. It was the video game Road Rash. It's the
Yeah.
video game
Oh my
Road
God.
Rash.
Oh,
You
yeah,
bring
I mean,
any bike, you do anything you could do to win. It was,
Yeah,
You're a team of 4 and 3 guys take out everybody else.
yeah. We'll split
So
the
it's-
millie.
When's this race supposed to happen? Allegedly.
It allegedly it was supposed to happen September 18th through 20th. Now here's the crazy part: Mid Ohio does not have that weekend reserved for anybody.
Interesting. So it's still open.
It's an underground match.
So I can go
Underground
rep Mid
race.
Ohio that weekend and be like, "Hey, I'm the world moto class, but I'm not giving anybody money."
Yeah,
The last I saw, well, not last, but I saw earlier today was that they're gonna try again next year once they get funded. I think
Who's
it's.
gonna
I
give
mean,
him $1 million? Who's gonna give him $2.5 million? Because that's really the goal is $2.5 million, and they give $1 million to the winner
right. But
What's
I
the
see
other
second and-
1.5
second-
for?
I was
Just
gonna
their
say second
pocket?
and third
for
place.
second and third place and for their
Okay.
pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they got at least pay a few other people, but no, it's pretty. Again, I like the idea. I think just the
Was this run by the dudes that run Precision Track Days?
man, here we go.
Because this sounds like a scam that Precision Track Days would be like, hey,
The
we're going to
400K
invite
pocket.
500 people to get on the track at the same time.
Hey, listen, man. I gotta say this. We need to move like them in the sense of like they were sitting here posting like what track should we go to next. You think they would disappear and just be quiet for a little bit, just see what happened? They're like literally like, bro, you're just adding flame to the fire. I don't think that the noise has calmed down. And I just looked through some of the comments, but it was just kind of like, there's still people flaming, man.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna that company is gonna be on fire longer than that town in Pennsylvania that's been burning for like 50 years. that the coal mine underneath the town's been burning for like 50 years. Man.
It's got to be 60 or 70 these days.
Yeah, it's a long. Like they made a video game out of it because it's been burning for so long. Nobody lives there because the entire town is burning from underneath.
Yeah.
I got to look it up now because now I remember that.
Yeah. No, that's the only thing that's pretty wild. We'll see what happens for next year, but it's they could have it could have been rolled out better. And I don't know. I mean, how do you guys feel about like no rules as far as classes in a motorcycle race? I mean, we've seen in Loudon, you're not going to call anyone out. But when the Motard was racing with the 600 and they had to ban the Motard from the middleweight class because on the straightaway they're not the same speed. You run up on a Motard a lot quicker than you do on another 600. So like when you say all that, where does safety come into play? Like what are they safety wiring? Like because can you imagine what people would bring to the track when you say you can bring anything?
Man. H2s.
They're gonna need a whole
somebody
dump truck full of kitty litter they're gonna have to bring.
Exactly, I was gonna say that they'll bring. Well, but they'll bring like a porta potty on wheels. Like you said, bring anything, they gonna bring people. Somebody's gonna bring anything.
Right. I think the sponsorship probably would have been ridiculous though. Like just the Red Bull might have jumped in. That sounds like some Red Bull.
Sponsor that, man. I wouldn't want my name associated with that. This is the Thunderdome of motorcycle racing, man. I'm expecting one ambulance for every 30 people that show up because that's how many transports there's going to be.
And a helicopter on standby.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine like cars and sidecars though. I feel like that would be wicked dangerous.
Right.
Like bikes,
I think the
cars,
only
and
regulation
sidecars.
is they need to have a maximum of 2 wheels.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
No.
But
No.
still,
So it does have rules. I thought
one
it was
rule.
no rules.
All right, so here it is. It's racers can ride any type of motorcycle, which again, that leaves it to interpretation because in some states, a
bring a
Can-Am
T-Rex.
Spider is a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From any manufacturer or custom built. That's another one. I can build a shit box in my garage and show up with a shit box that's going to explode and oil the entire track. All right, fine.
Well, I mean, you'll have laser guided guns that you shoot everybody.
I know, right? Mario Kart oil.
2 strokes, 4 strokes, diesels, and turbines.
Yeah.
Good gracious, man.
No, I like the idea, and you think about like, I mean, you know, and I say that we're thinking about the bag of seats. I remember when I was out in the Black Hawk and they were doing a testing, and I was just like, this will never work. And I see where it's at. Now MotoGP picked it up, right? So I mean, I think there's a place for it, but like, you got to kind of roll it out a little differently. I think throwing $1 million out on it and never like actually doing a race or anything like that just makes it weird. And like I say, unfortunately, you need rules.
Absolutely.
I feel like they could do it with a quali session, like top 30 who qualify can race, but it can't just be like completely open. 100 people fucking show up. Like that would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Again, I mean, you know, we see it, I guess, in the Le Mans with the cars, the different classes and stuff like that. But those guys move out of each other's ways and stuff like that. So, you know, can you imagine, you know, you're on a Vespa out there and somebody is trying to pass you and you're like, no, I'm not moving in the corners. I'm faster than you.
Yeah.
This is man. This is the problem with motorcycling. Sometimes, man, some of these guys get a scheme. I guarantee you, if people had invested into this, their money would have disappeared.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know, this is how people get scammed. This is what, you know, it hurts the industry when people come up with these weird ideas. At the end of the day, this was just a bunch of guys that are trying to figure out a way to get a lot of people to invest money, and then the money would disappear into an LLC or a C Corp or some offshore, you know, digital coin thing in the Bahamas, or Aruba or something like that. Like this, and then that's it. And then something like this will never happen again, man. And it shouldn't happen. This is the Fire Fest of motorcycles right here, man.
Oh, for sure. I couldn't think of it, Louis. You're right. It is the Fire Festival. That was exactly what was on my mind.
I'm trying to see if Ja Rule's involved. Because I need to know what Ja says. What's Ja got to say?
Whatever you want, baby.
Bahamas are ready for him. All right, guys, let's go through and run through the picks for this week, you know, and see what we're thinking. We'll start with Harry, are you ready?
Yeah, for sure. I think Bez, Martin, and Marquez. That's mine.
Okay, sprint and GP?
Nah, I think Marquez will take the sprint.
Okay.
With Marquez probably go take the sprint, and it's probably be Marquez, Pedro, and Jorge Martin for the sprint. And then Sunday, I look to see Bez, Martin, and Marquez for Sunday.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I like that. Tyson, what are your thoughts, man?
All right, sprint. I'm going Marquez, Martin, Bezzecchi, and then I'm going to go with, for the race, Marquez, Bezzecchi, and Raul.
All right. I'll throw you all the way. Lewis?
I'm going to go Mark both races with the W, and then in second place in the sprint, I'm going to put Fernandez, and third place Martin. And then in the race, it'll be the opposite. It'll be Martin in the front, Fernandez in third.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna
Spanish lockouts.
All right. I'm gonna go with Fernandez, Martin in the sprint, and I'm gonna throw Alex Marquez in the sprint.
Ooh, wild card.
Right. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go with Bez. I'm going with Fernandez and Martin in the GP.
Oh, Giving Mark that hate for not coming through for you last time.
Listen, I took him twice, and he crashed out twice. So.
Well, you know what? That bodes better for the rest of us that chose Mark, because as soon as Rexy chooses him, he's in the gravel trap.
You know exactly. Maybe I should choose him, but that's not how I want. I don't play like that. So I'd rather have him get the points, and these other boys try to take some points away from him if he can. I mean, it is his championship to lose, right? He won it last year, Marquez. So it is his championship to lose. So he's a defending champion.
Well, for sure.
So, all right, guys, appreciate it. We're gonna be we'll be here next week, but might as well throw the plug in there for the Coda round. We'll be a Coda at the Motor America round, so definitely check us out. We'll be live 8:15, I believe, a.m. Central Time. So definitely check us out. We're going to be on all the platforms, on our social media, on the website. So just check out BeForeverCool.com. If you haven't signed up already to the mailing list, make sure you sign up, and we'll keep you up to date. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. I want to thank Harry O from Two Wheels, One Chain, Tyson from up north, New England. We're going to get him. He's going to be a tree climber or something. We're going to get a catch for Tyson soon. Luis Ortega, the numbers guy. I really appreciate all you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir.